There's something that I see pretty often, and that is a comparison between Tesla and Apple. A lot of people think that Tesla is the Apple of cars, but is that actually true? Well, to find out today, we're gonna need two things. And the first, well, is another YouTuber. That's perfect. Here's one right now.
Hey, what's up, man?
It's Sam Cole from My Update.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Now, the only other thing we need is a Tesla, preferably a Model S.
Where are we gonna get a Tesla? I mean, they're back ordered for like a year.
It's like a full year.
So, I mean, we can run by the dealership.
We can just run check.
Yeah, I mean, let's
just go check.
Let's go. I think we should take this one.
I think we should take this one.
Yeah.
2017 Lamborghini Huracan Evo.
Let's go. Let's get real. I think I saw it, bro. Did you see it was right out front?
I think so.
Bro, I think I saw
I think so.
Bro, I'm like anxious as hell. I mean, I'm always anxious, but like, I'm excited. I feel like such a new ego. I think it's my check from my credit union.
I got my little folder.
This looks like this is the first time I've done this.
Dude.
All right.
So is this the M1 Max MacBook Pro?
I would
of
consider
cars,
this to be more of an M1 Ultra, but 48 core.
Okay, a 48 core M1 Ultra. It's not the plaid 64 core M1
So-
Ultra. When you talk about Tesla being the Apple of cars, build quality is the number one thing that stands out to me as being maybe not on the same
A
level.
bit sus.
Tesla does have a reputation for being a little bit slapdash when it comes to that stuff. I've got our first note here.
Okay.
This taillight piece and this taillight piece are not quite aligned.
Now you are right. I will say that's
It's not terrible.
pretty close.
It's not bad.
Usually if there's panel gaps, you can come back and they'll fix it.
Yeah.
That looks perfect to me.
That looks okay. That panel gap looks even. Oh no, the hood though. Look at this right here. That's like barely a finger. That looks like more of a finger.
Hey, step back. Come here.
Oh no.
Am I crazy or is there a much larger gap above that headlight?
No, you're definitely right about that. Yeah. Okay. An M1 Max MacBook Pro would not have that.
No, Apple would have checked. It's incredible that like Tesla this many years in is still, I mean, listen, I had a couple of minor gaps on my Model 3 in 2019. I thought they would have figured it out.
Yeah,
3 years
for
later.
$100,000.
We're gonna go ahead and pop that handle open.
I have to say, I'm digging this interior.
I've gotta say,
I like this more than the 3. I really like a dark headliner. I think that's definitely the mood. All right, peep this.
It's got me like dying.
Dude, look at this door panel.
Oh, that's...
Do you see that wobbling?
Oh, that's bad.
On the homepage of the YouTube app here is an Elon Musk video.
Oh my God, I'm cringing.
So, in terms of this being the Apple of cars, I think we can go ahead and put that as a myth for quality control.
Build quality is very different.
Quality control, this feels more like an Android phone than an iPhone.
All right, initially very smooth, very quiet.
Okay,
as you'd hope.
Mile an hour.
Hand over hand in the yoke is looking a little awkward so far.
This is a bit weird. It feels a bit unsafe. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
Let's do a pull.
Oh my God!
Oh,
That's 40, bro!
dude! Okay, we got a light coming up here. We gotta have to do that again. Now on the road, we had some time to reflect about Tesla's most infamous feature.
I feel like nobody's really said that like this doesn't feel like anything you've ever touched in a car before. Like I'm surprised this is legal, frankly.
The yoke is certainly not to everyone's taste, but isn't that kind of similar to the way Apple decides what's best for us? They decide whether or not we get a headphone jack. Heck, for 6 years they decided that the best keyboard was one that barely worked at all. With all this in mind, I hopped in for my first ever drive in the Model S. Did you unbuckle? That's probably not wise with me at the wheel.
I was just coming to say hi.
I'm a menace. Okay, so first of all, we gotta swipe forward to go into drive, which I do not like. That feels fake. This whole car kind of feels like a video game.
Yes.
Oh no. I've always wanted to get an idea of what it's like to drive with the yoke, mainly out of curiosity. Oh my God, I just grabbed at nothing. It's been one turn. Oh my gosh, okay, Sam, you were right. When you said that completing a turn is not easy, I know what you mean. Despite these quirks, the yoke that takes a lot of getting used to, the swiping to control literally everything in the car on the touchscreen, something about this new Model S feels different, more special than the Model 3. The Model 3 to me feels like an appliance. It feels like a dishwasher. It's plain, it's simple, it's nice, and it's good, but it doesn't feel very special. This feels a little bit more special. And the quality feels higher, the materials, the aesthetics are all definitely elevated. However, there are some things in here which confuse me. And honestly, it's not dissimilar to Apple, I gotta be honest. Having capacitive buttons on a steering wheel, what the heck is that? That's like having a touch bar, right? A lot of people don't really like that. And having this yoke, this is like getting rid of the headphone jack, right? What was wrong with the headphone jack? We don't need a rectangle, we're all fine with circles. I don't see why this is necessary. But for every utterly illogical and wholly frustrating thing that Tesla does here, there's something else to balance it. Okay, no one behind us?
Oh God.
Dude. It feels like too much sometimes. Like,
It does.
I don't know if I'm responsible enough.
Like, this is a lot of power to be giving to just anyone with $100,000, which I guess isn't that many people, but a Tesla is kind of like its own little ecosystem where you get so used to how everything works here. But I like change, variety, and differences in cars, and that's kind of more like, you know, having an Android phone where every couple of years you can get something that's totally different than what you had before. Whereas in a Tesla, like, this car on the outside has looked basically the same for 10 years.
So where do I go next? Just the Roadster?
I think you got to go for the Roadster. That's
Okay.
the only logical way to do it. And yet, while sometimes the Tesla ecosystem, if you will, might feel constricting, other times it's just obvious. There are some things here that I actually think are, it's kind of like iMessage, right? One pedal driving. That's like being a blue bubble, right? You can't go back. Just driving around without having to hit the brake pedal is something that is just so obvious that, like, it's going to be hard to go back to, like, switching pedals all the time. Your foot gets tired in stop-start traffic. It's kind of a pain. Another thing that's really good here that's just, like, super obvious is having the air come out of the dash in front of you instead of being like in the middle and the side where it's blowing on your hands and your arms. Like, I'm just sitting here and I've got air blowing directly on my face and chest. That is like, that's how it should be. And I don't have any visible dents. That's amazing. That's like how Apple doesn't want to have all these like visible seams and ports around.
It's a good comparison.
It's exactly what we have here. And it just makes sense. Our whole time with the Tesla Model S was this back and forth between things that just make so much sense and seem so obvious and that every car should have, and other things that are so infuriating and stupid that you wonder why they would even bother putting them in here. I do have to say, though, I use my indicators a lot because I'm a good driver, and this kills me. This absolutely kills me. I mean, maybe you would get used to it. Maybe after a while it would feel normal, but it's so weird that you're always indicating with your thumb, and it's on the wheel, and it's not even a button that you can feel. It's like, it feels like the iPhone 7 home button, which is like halfway between being a button and not a button. I don't like that at all. I would replace the steering wheel. So given all of this back and forth, it's difficult to come up with a conclusion. Is Tesla really the Apple of cars? Well, in some ways, I think it definitely is. One pedal driving, the vents, the charger network, the feature set in the infotainment system. These are all things that Apple would do. They are obvious, they make a lot of sense. And that's further supported by the new Model S's increased focus on minimalism and interior quality. The materials are a dramatic improvement from both the Model 3 and the previous Model S, and this is the direction that I hope Tesla is going. But at the same time, there's still a lot of ways in which I think the Tesla-Apple comparison doesn't make that much sense. Number one, of course, being build quality. I mean, check out the issue that Sam had with the windshield wipers. There you go. Ugh. That's so loud. Like, I'm sorry, but that is completely unacceptable. A $100,000 car with the windshield wipers hitting the hood. There's no way Apple or any other car manufacturer even would ship a car with something that bad. We had the chance to go and check out a used Porsche Taycan with nearly 10,000 miles on it already, and it was miles ahead of the Tesla. Like, it's not even the same league. But using the software, well, it just feels a little bit more lacking, and obviously the lack of autopilot is something that a lot of people would be bothered by. So we're kind of stuck in a feedback loop where some things are very Apple, both good and bad, and some things aren't very Apple, again, both good and bad. So I guess we can really only rely on an impression. And I think there's a reason why most people have the impression of Tesla being an Apple-like company. And well, it's not going to be universal. It's not going to be in every single aspect. I think people kind of have a point.